What a wonderful surprise.
Well, that's what birthdays are for. Surprises. Candlelight, fine food. Special time for a special lady.
I don't know when I've ever been so happy.
Compliments of the house, Miss Kelsall. I gotta stay in there tight with your father, right? Up-and-coming salesman like me can't be too careful with the boss's daughter, right?
You don't have to be careful with me. I'm sold.
Fantastic. A satisfied customer. And now for a very special gift. Oh!
What?
I left it in the car.
Well, go and get it.
Don't go there.
Mm-mm.
Can I help you, sir?
Listen, I just want to get something in my car. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kelso?
Chuck, where the devil you been? You were supposed to be here 20 minutes ago.
Yes, sir. That's why I'm calling. I've been held up.
Look, Summers, I don't want excuses. I want you down here now. You've got some tall explaining to do.
I don't understand, sir.
Oh, you don't? Well, I'll give you a choice. You can come down here now, or you can talk to the police, whichever you like.
Yes, sir. I'll be right there. Are you in the supervisor's office?
Yes. I'll wait for you here.
I'll be right there, sir.
Happy birthday, huh?
May I open it?
Of course, that's what it's for.
Oh, Chuck. Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
I understand it happened on your birthday.
Yeah, I had gone out to dinner with a friend. If he hadn't been with me when I got the news, I don't know what I would have done.
You said your father had been very troubled lately.
Yes, and that wasn't like Mac. I mean, not even when we didn't have all of this.
Did he ever say what was bothering him?
Only that he had felt betrayed. That someone was knifing him in the back.
Did he have any enemies?
I've never known him to do an unkind thing in his life. He always said he was still just a day laborer at heart. My father was a very good man, Mr. Jones.
Sometimes even a good man has enemies he doesn't know anything about.
That's what has me worried.
Of course, the police report said it was an accident, malfunction of equipment.
Believe me, I sincerely hope it was. But if it wasn't, I must know.
You have every right to know.
We call it the monster.
I can well see why, Mr. Downey.
It can move 10 tons around, just like that.
Miss Kelso says that her father seemed troubled lately.
Oh, Mac was worried, all right. Look around you. Computer operated, efficient like clockwork.
Sounds complicated.
Not really. The computer does it all. Takes the orders, runs the machines, arranges shipping, accounting, even marks the bills paid. The only problem is the computer's been in operation 3 months and we're still losing money.
What's the problem?
It's always tough to figure with a new installation. Production schedules are right on the money. It'll come around, though. When it came to machines, Mac Kelso knew what he was doing.
Shame he didn't know his monster a little better.
I don't get you.
Oh, just an ugly thought, the idea of one of his machines killing him. Any idea how this could have happened?
Night watchman came running as soon as he heard the crash. The building was locked. Not a soul on the premises. By the time they had the fire put out, Mac was already dead.
Mr. Downey, if anybody had been in the factory, is there any way they could have activated the crane from the floor or bumped into a switch or something?
No, the only control we have down here is an emergency shutdown switch. You see, the monster only accepts orders from the computer. Matter of fact, the way it all happened just isn't possible.
Doesn't sound to me like that's a matter of fact. Mr. Kelso is dead. Nobody knows how or why. I'd like to see that computer if I could.
Sure, you can if you want to. But we've had 2 experts going over it ever since the accident. I doubt if you'll even understand what they're doing.
I'm kind of like the little boy at the peep show. Even though I don't understand it, I have to look.
I've been through these circuits 3 times. If there's a short here, I can't find it.
You could use a break. Why don't you get some coffee?
Yeah. You want some?
No, thank you.
Jones, this is Brian Elder. The Clarion computer people say that if he can't answer your questions, they can't be answered. Mr. Jones is a private investigator. He's looking into the accident for Miss Kelso. I'm afraid I have to get back to the line. If you need me, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you very much.
Oh, this is James Garcia.
How do you do, sir? Glad to meet you. Excuse me. Well, where would you like to start, Mr. Jones?
Well, I'm sort of like the old maid asking about marriage. Questions are tougher to come by than the answers. This one box runs the whole plant.
No, not quite. That box is merely a terminal. The master computer is located in a very large building downtown. The commands put in here relate to that master computer. Then, by using information stored on Kelso program tapes, it responds by sending back the appropriate electronic signals to activate the system requested.
Like the crane out there.
Yes, but we provide Kelso with many other services as well. Automated assembly, accounting, shipping. You might say we run this entire operation. Hey, Brian. Looks like I get to keep my union card. Here it is. Well, you found it, huh? I bet I looked at this B14 circuit a dozen times and didn't see it. I just don't get it.
Could I see that?
Sure. But see that bent connector there? It shorts the one on the other side.
Got a little mark on it. Looked like it could have been done with a tool or something.
Oh, pardon me.
Any idea how that could have happened?
I'm afraid our lab people have to make that determination.
Well, when they get all through with it, could I have that little gadget?
Mr. Jones, that's something you'll have to arrange with my superiors.
All right, I'll do that. Well, I'm much obliged to you gentlemen for your time.
Chuck? Chuck?
Brian!
Chuck,
You are my man! Hey, I heard how they discovered that flaw in the terminal. You handled it beautifully.
And you also heard about Jones, the private detective your girlfriend hired?
Oh, sure. Listen, don't worry about that. I can handle Emily. She put me next to old man Kelso now, didn't she?
Yeah. And if Jones finds out you killed him?
Hey, I already told you, I didn't kill anybody. I set a machine in motion. I cannot be responsible for it if it went out of control.
Chuck, you said this was just going to be a ripoff. I did not plan on becoming involved in a murder.
Baby, it couldn't be helped. Kelso was gonna nail us. I had to put a stop to it, right?
I guess so.
Hey, come on, baby. We both vowed by the time we're 40, we're gonna be rich, right? Now, you have a few years leeway on me, but you don't want to see old Chucky boy in his dotage before I have a chance to put my feet up on the veranda in Mallorca, now, do you?
Mallorca? I thought we were buying a hotel in Tahiti.
What, you don't like Mallorca?
No, but what happened to Tahiti?
What, do you want to make something out of it? Come on, put him up, come on. I'll punch you out, man.
I thought we were going to Tahiti.
Hey, look back.
All right, okay, it's Mallorca.
It's Mallorca, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hey, you know something? I've always had good luck with guys with glasses. Boom, huh? Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you pick out all the broads. You know why? They go for your style, all innocence on the outside, but inside, boom, huh?
Hello. You fellas are a little lax with security, aren't you?
Now, why should two legitimate businessmen like us worry about security? How are you, Mr. Griffith?
Well, I'm fine. If you boys got the merchandise.
Have we got the merchandise? Come on.
Impressed. Very impressed. I think my overseas customers are going to be very, very pleased.
Well, that's fine. Is this our money?
Well, if if I can be sure there's no way to trace this stuff.
Brian, tell him.
Well, even if it were, there wouldn't make any difference. You see, every item here is covered by a paid invoice at Kelso Manufacturing.
How did you manage that?
Genius. Pure genius. My friend here can make a computer do tricks that only Einstein can appreciate.
It's not that difficult, really. Once I was able to break the Kelso programming code, it was a very simple matter. See, Chuck feeds in the orders from Ventnor, and the computer orders up programming automatically. Even handles deliveries.
Yeah, with the help of a little gadget that my modest friend here built.
But the most important thing is that the computer is signaled to recognize our bills as paid and print out accordingly. So within Kelso's automated accounting, the Ventnor account appears as any normal business transaction.
You're too modest. That is genius.
Hey, this is only $100,000. Now, I know this stuff is worth at least $300,000.
And when our trucks roll in here tomorrow, we will be picking up the other $200,000 in risk.
But we had made plans.
I know you made plans. Now, listen, I like you boys. You're bright, you're clean, you haven't got any records. And you got a whole new angle here. Now, do you want to make some real money? I'm talking about $500,000.
Sure.
Then you bring me electrical components. All kinds, any kind, I don't care. That market is wide open.
We'll do it. You can depend on us.
Chuck, I don't know.
Doesn't your computer handle Burleson Electronics?
Yes, but it's an entirely different programming code.
Brian, I know you can break that code. We'll open up a new warehouse, a new company. It'll run as smooth as silk. Yeah, you got yourself a deal.
Good.
What you see here is only the tip of the iceberg. Actually, Charlie occupies another 8 floors.
Charlie?
C for Clarion, C for Charlie.
Very impressive. Have you figured out yet how Charlie activated the crane out at Kelso Manufacturing?
Well, our lab people are still looking at that terminal connector, but while it's possible that it was the culprit, I'd bet against it.
Dr. Lincoln, is there any other way it could have been done?
Well, it's a baffler. It would require access to the computer. That means that somebody would have to have the specific binary code for the Kelso program.
Now, hold on, I can't make heads or tails out of that.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Heads or tails in an infinite series of sequences. Here, let me show you. You see, each company has its own individual coded information, which is stored in hundreds of tapes and packs and distributed throughout the unit.
I would send a Greyhound running for cover.
That's Charlie speaking.
Oh, I guess I didn't get his message.
Well, he's saying, "Who are you?" Now, you answer by entering your secret number. That number is your password. If you have the right number, he says, "Oh, yes, I recognize you. What can I do for you?" But if you don't, he won't talk to you.
I see. In order to get anywhere, you have to talk his language.
Exactly. And each program has an entirely different language. So you see what the odds are against anyone jumping the system.
Oh, Mr. Elder, you're just on the way over to your office.
I didn't expect to see you here.
Now, Mr. Jones feels that Charlie's untrustworthy.
Oh, no, I just feel that possibly he swapped stories with the wrong crowd.
Well, you explained to Mr. Jones that all our programs are designed by independent programmers?
Oh, yes.
You see, the codes are secure even from our people here. They can't be broken.
That's what the doctor said. But a few years ago, people were saying the same thing about the DNA molecule. Now chemists read it like a book.
Well, Brian's right. The chances are less than 1 in a million.
You see, you have to remember something, Mr. Jones. Charlie does not make mistakes.
He made a big one at Kelso. There was a man killed. Dr. Lincoln says anybody could have done it if he were able to talk to Charlie.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave the science fiction to you gentlemen. I'm late for a meeting. Excuse me.
Seems like a bright young man.
The best math mind that ever graduated from Grover Institute.
You suppose he could decipher one of those programs if he had to?
Maybe with time. I know if we had to do it, he's the man I'd put on it.
Have you any idea what he was doing the night Kelso died?
Is that a detective's question?
It's my line of business.
Well, Mr. Jones, I'm happy to tell you that Ryan was having dinner that evening with me and my wife. He's a fine young man.
I'm sure he
Hi, honey. How you doing?
I just got your call. Why didn't you tell me you were leaving?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey, but I've been talking to the Burleson people for a long time now. When the opportunity came up, I grabbed it. It's a big step forward.
But you didn't have to leave. I would have spoken to someone here.
Hey, that's not my style. When I come to you, I want to be on my own 2 feet.
What would this mean to us?
Honey, I'm changing jobs, not my life. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, darling. Bye.
Summers.
It's Brian, Chuck. That private investigator Jones has been nosing around Clarion all morning. I think he's onto something.
Hold on a second. Now listen, he can't cause us any trouble. Everything is clean.
What about the warehouse? If you should trace those deliveries to the warehouse, he could get us.
Not a chance. The warehouse is empty. Now, if it'll make you feel any better, I'll go down and double-check myself after work.
Yes, I'd feel a lot better.
Now, just relax. I want you to concentrate on breaking the Burleson Code. Everything there is go. Go, go, go. All the way to Mallorca, right? Okay, later.
Your hunch was right. There were discrepancies between Kelso's deposits and their paid accounts.
That's what I thought. That's the only way they could have been losing money. How many companies involved?
Only one, Ventnor Machinery, but they made purchases of over $300,000. What I don't understand is how the computer indicated that their bills were paid.
Was there an address on those deliveries?
I'm sorry, I didn't have enough time to find out. Shipping should have it.
I'm going to check into that.
I thought you were going to buy me lunch.
Take it out of petty cash.
Alone again.
Anybody home? All right, whoever's up there, come out where I can see you.
Chucky, now you promised me champagne. Now you know your Vera girl can't drink anything but champagne.
Now, Vera girl, it's on its way. You keep it in gear and it'll be here. Oh, here we are. I'll be right with you.
Okay.
Hang on.
So funny.
Come in, come in. I've been worried about you. Listen, did you break the ballistic code?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, fine. We're right on schedule. I've opened up the new warehouse. You know where we are now? Stonehurst Industries.
All right.
Yeah, now wait till you meet the girls. You're gonna love them.
Hi. Hello.
All right. Now, I want you to meet a very good friend of mine, Vera Alice. I want you to meet the genius, Brian.
How are you? Oh, gee, cute.
Didn't I tell you? Now, you take real good care of my man here, huh? Vera and I are gonna go get some ice, and I'm gonna fix you up a little drink.
You got plenty of ice.
Honey, we defrost the icebox, huh?
Well, but you know...
I don't want to hear about
No,
it.
but... Put me down, silly. Put me down, silly. Put me down.
Excuse me.
Well, that Chucky's sure card, ain't he?
Yes, he's very good with people.
You're kind of shy, ain't you?
No. Well, yes, I guess I am a little bit.
You don't need to be. I mean, not around me. Ooh. I mean, there's nothing I like better than a good party. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's very nice.
You bet it is. Listen, you want to dance?
No, I don't think so, thank you.
Oh, I bet you don't know how to dance, do you? I'll teach you how to dance. I'll bet Prude Alice can teach you how to do a lot of things. Come on, dance with me. Come on.
No, thank you.
Come on, have a dance.
No.
Come on, it's fun.
Please.
Come on, dance
Please.
with me. Come on and
Please.
dance. I love to dance.
Please, I don't want to.
Well, what's the matter with you anyways? You think you're special or something?
Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm very sorry.
Well, now, how you kids getting along, huh?
I'll bet you're having fun. Your friend here's playing awfully hard to get. Where'd you find him anyway? Under a rock?
Chuck, I need to talk to you.
Honey, my friend here's been under a tremendous strain. Alice, come on, baby. Take us out by the pool. I'll be right out. Everything will be cool. Get my drink, okay? Everything's cool. Come on, have a drink. Hey, what is it with you? Alice is a very sharp chick.
I can't talk to her. I don't know. I don't know. She's just... I thought we were risking our necks for something different, that's all.
What do you want, Madam Curry in the middle of what we got going?
If I could just talk to her, it'd be different.
Oh, champagne's here.
Darling. Hey. You didn't call. I thought we were going to go out and celebrate the new job, you know, and go to dinner. But I see you've already got other company.
Well, I can explain all this.
Well, I don't think an explanation's necessary. Very foolish, that's all. I'm sorry if I've interrupted anything.
Yeah, but Emily. Oh, well, it's better this way anyway. It just clears the air. She was no use to us anyway, right? Hey, boom.
I think I'd better go.
Oh, Brian, what? The party's just getting started.
Not tonight.
What about the code, huh? I'll call you tomorrow.
Sure. Tomorrow.
Ventnor Machinery? Yeah, I remember those two.
There were two?
Yeah, the one fella, tall, husky, good-looking. Simpson, I think he said his name was, did all the talking. Said they wanted this warehouse.
Do you recall the other one's name?
No. Didn't mention it. Sure wasn't the type you'd expect in that business, though.
How so, Mr. Greening?
You know, he seemed like he belonged more in his mother's apron string. Couldn't have been more than 30. Little guy. I remember he had a funny way of filling with his glasses every now and then.
Exactly what way was that?
You know, some people are constantly pushing them back in their nose like they're going to fall off. Well, he had a funny way. Like, salute. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm afraid I know exactly what you mean. Well, look at this. I'm getting luckier than a 5-footed rabbit. I was just on my way up to see you.
Well, I only have 20 minutes left for lunch, Mr. Jones. Perhaps later.
Well, I eat very fast. What if I just tag along? I'll even buy.
I'm sorry. I have some thinking to do.
Yes, I'll just bet you have. Maybe it'd be to your advantage if we had a talk first. Unless you actually killed Beck Kelso.
I don't know what you're talking about. I spent that evening with Dr. Lincoln.
I know. Mr. Greening at the real estate office said you had a partner, a man named Simpson. Want to tell me his real name?
Simpson? I don't know any Simpson or Greening.
Mr. Greening is the man who rented you the warehouse. He described you to a T. All he has to do is verify that identification, and police will be here to pick you up. Even a young possum knows enough to tell when it's been treed. He even mentioned that.
What?
That way you have of fiddling with your glasses when you're nervous.
Well, I doubt if I'm the only person with that particular idiosyncrasy, Mr. Jones.
You probably aren't. But you're the only one capable of arranging that theft at the Kelso place. And with that goes a charge of murder. And I don't think that was your idea.
If you have something, Mr. Jones, evidence, I suggest you take it to the police.
Your friend tell you he tried to kill me yesterday? I thought not. I want his name, Brian.
I told you I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I got part of it. I'll get the rest. Shame a talented young fella like you spend the rest of his life behind bars. Think about that while you're enjoying your lunch.
Sit down, I'll make you a drink.
Why didn't you tell me you tried to kill Barnaby Jones?
Who told you that?
He did. He's got us, Chuck. He knows about everything. He talked to that man who rented us the warehouse, Mr. Greening.
Did he mention me?
No, not by name.
I should have killed him when I had the chance to.
That's really the way you think, isn't it? Another murder means nothing. I should have known this is where we were headed when you killed Kelso.
Brian, you and I are in this together.
Not me. Not me. I'm getting out tonight.
Hey, you can't quit now. The first big delivery went out to the new warehouse today. Brian, Jones doesn't know anything about the Burleson operation. All you gotta do is lay low for a couple of days, and everything we work for will come true.
Like Mallorca?
Hey, Mallorca, why not?
Because it's a lie. Like everything else you put out. You use people, Chuck. You don't care. Like that girl last night, Emily. You just don't care.
Wait a minute, little buddy. Don't you be saying something that you're going to be sorry for.
I'm not going to be sorry for anything because I have made up my mind. It's like you said, it's we. We are going to go to the police together.
Brian, use your head.
If you don't go with me, I will do it by myself. I mean it.
Hey, now, I'm not going to blow the biggest chance of my life for some sniveling little four-eyed punk that's lost his nerve.
We'll see who loses his nerve when I tell the police everything I know. Let go, Chuck. Hey, listen,
Sid, let go of me! Now will you leave me alone?
You discovered who betrayed my father?
2 men were using the new computer system to rob your father blind. I got a line on one of them, but unfortunately, he died last night.
Well, sit down.
Do you recall ever seeing this man? Do you know him?
I've seen him
Where?
with Chuck.
Chuck?
Chuck Summers. He used to work for my father. But he couldn't have had anything to do with Mac's death. They were the best of friends. Besides, he was with me that night.
It was the night of the birthday supper.
Yes.
Did he leave you at any time during that evening?
No. Oh, wait, yes, he did. He went to the car to get my gift. But that couldn't have taken more than 5 minutes.
Where can I find Chuck Summers?
Well, we've broken up, and he no longer works for the company. He's at Burleson Electronics now.
You have a picture of him?
Yes, I do.
I'll get this back to you.
From the look on your face, I have a feeling I may not want it back.
Yeah, I remember this dude.
Think back. Did you see him last Tuesday about 8 o'clock?
Yeah, he took a briefcase out of his car and went to that phone booth over there.
You sure? He was supposed to be picking up a birthday present.
Right on. When he finished his call, he took the case back to the car and copped a small package. Then he took it inside. Didn't any help to you?
I'd say you're right on.
Anytime, my man, anytime.
What in the world is that?
Betty, you may just be looking at the most complicated trigger ever used to kill a man.
What?
Dial that number.
What is it?
This is a portable computer terminal. With a gadget like this, Chuck Summers could have killed Kelso without leaving the restaurant parking lot.
How?
He could have activated that crane from any phone booth like this.
Then it wasn't a short found in the computer terminal.
I don't think so. I think that Brian did that little piece of hanky-panky after the fact.
And Summers has the perfect alibi.
Not if I can tie him to the Kelso thefts. I think they're pulling the same stunt over at Burleson Electronics. All I have to do is prove it.
With a little help from your friend Charlie?
Yes. Call Dr. Lincoln at that number. Tell him I need a search of all Burleson sales over the last few days. Tell him I'll be right over.
Right. It shouldn't take long now. We've programmed selectively to take accounts according to size and delivery techniques. We've encoded our invoice payments directly from the deposit account records. Should have your baby any second.
How close will you be able to come?
Closer than I did with Brian. I'm afraid I feel partly responsible.
It's only human. Charlie's the only one around here who makes judgments without emotion.
Thank you. Well, I see it, but I still don't believe it. Stonehurst Industries. Over $400,000 in sales mark paid, not a penny in the corresponding deposit account.
That's terrific. Really terrific. I'm very proud of you, Chuck. Now, this is the way to do business. I must say, this time you boys really outdid yourselves.
Hey, let's cut the talk. Now, if you're satisfied, I'll take the bread.
Sure. Remember, there's a lot more where that came from.
Mr. Griffith, I'm sorry, but this will be the last shipment.
What are you talking about?
That's right.
Now, listen, I told you I like you boys. Why, this is chicken feed compared to what it can be.
Summers? Why don't you tell him you killed the chicken that lays the golden egg?
Now, who's he?
He's a private detective. We'll have to get rid of him.
That's not beyond my experience.
You two don't think I'm stupid enough to have come in here by myself, do you?
Get out! Get out, Chuck! Get out!
Hold it, you! Where's Joe?
He's inside.
Hold it! Put it down, son. I rarely miss at this distance.
I thought I told you to take it easy.
I think you'll find the contents of these boxes interesting. Mr. Summers will fill you in on what you need to know, and if he won't, call me. I got a friend named Charlie.
Charlie.
Open it, quick! Quick!
Bowers called, Mr. Turner. He wanted to talk to you about the arrival of the new...
Touch that alarm button and you're dead.
You better do exactly as he says, Mary.
You, take the hands behind your back. Come on! Lady, you got a key to that closet?
In the middle drawer of the desk.
Is this really necessary?
Do it! You can take them out, too.
Mary, I'm sorry. It'll be all right.
You in the ballroom. Come on, move it. Ever want to torture somebody, stick this mask on them. My voice okay?
Good. You making that plane on time?
Come on, Nate. Stop worrying. My ulcer's acting up as it is.
Now just drive careful. Stay under the speed limit.
Come on, Nate. We've been over this 100 times.
Now don't get impatient. You're always impatient. All right. You better take me now.
I'm making it more realistic, Nate.
What? We're partners.
Nate, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't last 2 minutes with some hard-nosed cop asking questions. Nah. Quite all right. Yeah, business has to go on. Commitments, all that. Yeah, besides, it wouldn't be...
If you're not free for dinner tonight, I'll strangle Mitch.
Shock, you gotta be kidding. There's no word to describe the way I felt. I was in New York meeting with Zinnemann's fire when I got the word. You betcha, Frank. Anytime. Bye-bye. Yeah, that phone rings again, I'll climb the wall. Scotch and soda. With a twist, right? Hey, look, girls, help yourselves to the bar. Smitty, George, lend the ladies a hand. It's get acquainted time. Come on.
Mr. Mitchell, I'm Barnaby Jones.
Yeah, the insurance company mentioned you in the case. Come on in.
Thank you.
Phone. Hey, I haven't had a bite today. Think I'll mix a little nourishment. What's your pleasure, Jones?
Oh, nothing for me, thanks. If I'm intruding,
Oh, no, just a couple of buyers checking on my life. That phone's driving me crazy today. Come on, Jones, join me in a drink. Phones. Yeah. Hey, come on, my partner's dead 3 days, and I'm talking to a couple of lushes. You're out of your skull, Gloria. Sorry, Jones, what do you have?
Oh, nothing for me, thanks.
You know, I probably know less about that robbery than anybody. I wasn't even here. On a plane heading for New York.
Well, the police report had all the facts. I'm not going to take you over any old ground, Mr. Mitchell. I just wondered whether you had given any thought to the crudeness of the theft. Had you any ideas on that?
Crude? In and out of my place with $500,000 in platinum in less than 3 minutes? Come on, Jones.
Well, I mean crude in the sense that there are a lot of things left to chance. For instance, that vault had a time lock that activated at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at, Jones, but, well, you know, it's inventory time. We take it on Saturday. And Nate could have been looking for some of the records we keep in the vaults.
And your silent alarm. Concealed buttons all over the place. A real pro would have seen to it that security system was neutralized the very first thing.
Only thing I can drink. Ulcers. Yes, John? I've been thinking. That guy was waving a gun around. He probably knew Nate was scared. Wouldn't touch any buttons. See, John, I want to cooperate any way I can. I'm a busy man. Got 1,000 things on my mind.
Well, I'm not going to bother you anymore, Mr. Mitchell. I really just wanted you to know that I'm going to be underfoot for a while.
Exactly what we hired to do, Joan.
Cover all the bases for California Meridian Insurance. You see, if this does turn out to be an inside job, one of your employees say, well, then the bonding company would have to bear some of the liability.
Well, I hate to think of one of our people committing such a crime.
Mr. Turner, your partner, he wasn't really a physical man, was he?
Nate? Strictly a desk man.
That's another strange thing. He did everything that the thief told him to do. He taped Miss Duane, he opened up the vault, gave him all the platinum, and then for some reason he struggled with the thief.
I don't know, maybe he thought he had a chance to pounce on him, make a try. Hey, Jones, my head's like a block of cement.
Can we chat about this some other time?
Fine. There's just one last thing. Your bookkeeper, Miss Duane, she seems to be giving a more accurate description of the man.
Well, coveralls and mask is how she described him to me.
Well, she seems to think now that he was much taller than she figured originally, well over 6 feet, with great massive shoulders, built like a wrestler. Can you think of anyone who answered that description that you or your partner may have known?
Not offhand.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell, for your time. I'll let myself out.
Sure thing, Joan. Feel like a wrestler.
Anything new, Lieutenant?
Yeah, I lost the lunch betting on the game Sunday.
Should have checked with me first.
Talk with the other partner, Mitch Mitchell?
Yeah, there's a busy man. Talking to him is like having a conversation with a nervous kangaroo.
It's a candidate for a heart attack. That's a jewelry manufacturing business. I don't think I want any part of it.
You want to lose another lunch, Lieutenant? I'd like to bet that this was an amateur job.
No, it's too clean. You're on.
Did you talk to Mitch about the cloisonne enamel, Sam?
Too competitive, he says. Buys $500,000 in platinum and says enamel too competitive? Go figure that out.
I'll talk to him first chance I get.
If you can catch him in one spot long enough.
Miss Duane? Barnaby Jones, I called earlier.
Oh, yes, Mr. Jones. Come right in.
You don't want to intrude on your lunch period?
That's perfectly all right. How can I help you?
This is where the masked robber locked you up?
Yes. I didn't know whether to be frightened or relieved. On the one hand, being locked in a closet, but yet at least his intentions didn't seem to include hurting me.
How would you describe his manner? Was he nervous as opposed to being cool?
Very cool. I fancy he's somebody with considerable experience in robbery.
Considerable experience?
Oh, yes, I'd say he was very professional.
I wonder if I could look at your vault room?
Of course.
I suppose since you were locked up in the closet in there, you didn't hear much of what happened out here.
Only when the shot was fired.
Miss Duane, how much time would you estimate we spent just now talking in your office?
Oh, about 2 minutes. Why?
That's about the same amount of time you said you were locked in the closet when you heard the gunshot.
About 2 minutes. Is there something wrong with my answers, Mr. Jones?
No, you're doing just fine. Just one point that seems strange, the speed with which the robber worked. Now, he got into that vault. He transferred 100 pounds of platinum out that door to a waiting vehicle all in the space of 2 minutes.
Very professional, as I said.
Can I get out that way?
Yes, of course.
Silent alarm?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, Mr. Jones. No? Oh, one moment. It's Sweeney. He doesn't like his discount.
Well, hang up on him. All right, tell him everything's taken care of.
A new billing will be sent to you, Mr. Sweeney. No, it's our pleasure. Goodbye.
You know, I feel like a one-armed juggler. Any news from Johannesburg yet?
None, and I've wired again.
Would you rip that thing out or something like that?
Eagle? Yes, he's, one moment. It's too late. You'll have to talk to him.
What's Jones doing here?
I thought he left. It's the buyer from Wilson's.
And that's how it all starts. A sheet of paper.
Oh, it starts long before that, Mr. Jones. Long conferences on trends, availability of metal stones, feelers out to the buyers.
You work mostly in gold?
Gold's a staple. Never out of fashion.
I understand you've been with the company a long time.
14 years. Started off with just 3 of us. Mr. Turner, married back then myself. It's a nice family feeling. Mr. Mitchell came in 9 years ago as salesman, then bought in.
You know what's curious to me, Mr. Benson? Why so much platinum on hand?
That was Mr. Turner's idea. Before it goes up, he said. I said, speculating in the jewelry business is bad luck, and it was. Cost him his life.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
They know very little.
What are you talking about?
The police and Mr. Jones. They really know very little.
Jones told me you gave a more complete description of the robber.
Yes, I was a little confused when I first described him, remembering just that terrible mask, but I became more composed after Mr. Turner was buried. He was really a very big man, almost a head taller than you. Much, much heavier.
You know, Mary, I'm going to be depending on you a lot more now. Running the company alone. I want you to take on more responsibility.
Of course, Mr. Mitchell.
Maybe, we can discuss it at dinner tonight.
All right.
Make a reservation at Roger's. You know, the insurance company may be looking for ways not to pay off on the platinum. You know, on the grounds that Nate was a little careless that morning? What I mean, Mary, is, Jones works for them, so maybe we shouldn't go out of our way to cooperate with him.
That's exactly the way I feel.
I could win a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah. You want one?
Oh, no, thank you. My waistline would never forgive me, but I will take a sip of your lemonade. The nicest young man at the Credit Rating Bureau said I had the loveliest eyes.
That's a sign he has good judgment. Did you get into that list I left you?
I checked all of the employees you circled. Nothing yet.
What about Mitchell? Did you double check him?
Yes, he was on a flight to New York at the time of the robbery. Flight 522, departure 8 o'clock, with 2 stopovers, Salt Lake City and Chicago.
Stopover?
Arrival, New York, 3:42.
One look at Mitchell. It's hard to see him taking anything but direct flight. You know, I've been trying to put myself in the place of that thief. If I were a professional, I would have grabbed that bookkeeper the minute she opened the place. Then I would have seen to it that all the alarms were cut off and sat there and waited for one of the partners to show up.
Which leaves you with your amateur theory.
I'm babysitting $500 million worth of platinum. Did I make a connection before the robbery? Talk to a fence? Likely not. Fence would have been too smart to talk directly to a non-pro about a robbery that hadn't happened yet. If I'd gotten caught, I might have pulled him down too.
You'd have some idea of what your next move would be.
Sure, I'd have asked around, look for a middleman, maybe even somebody on the lowest rung of the ladder. That lowest rung might be a good place to start.
Isn't it strange? In all the years I've been making reservations for you here, I've never once been here myself.
Yeah, good food.
I envy your life, Mr. Mitchell. Knowing everybody, able to mix with any company. Haven't you ever thought of getting married?
Oh, plenty of time for that. Listen, back to business. Just a minute, huh? Mind if I use your phone, Andre? Help yourself. Ready whenever you are.
Powerhouse on Olson Road. Exactly midnight.
Who am I meeting?
I'll have him with me.
Doesn't leave me much time. I have to leave now to pick it up.
Midnight, or it's off.
Smitty. Oh, good evening, Mr. Mitchell.
No, Mitch. Make it Mitch.
Hey, what are you doing here? I didn't know you knew your way around town. This is sort of an in-in place, huh?
Well, I was talking with your, Miss Duane this afternoon about places to dine, and she recommended Roger's. In fact, she got me the reservation.
Hey, well, listen, just tell the maitre d' it's on me. Hey, Smitty, what happened with that bin? You know, that chick I lunch up with.
Well, I lead a very quiet life, Mr. Mitchell.
Hey, do me a favor, will you, Smitty? Come on over to my table. Come on. I've got Mary Duane with me and something's come up. You understand? Come on. You two know each other? Well, come on, Smitty, sit down. Look, Mary, why don't you and Smitty have dinner together? You know, the best of everything, champagne it up. I just managed to contact the supplier who's got to leave town within the hour. I got to talk to him. And Mary, about that little business discussion of ours, start by my place in the morning with your books and we'll see if we can't make some headway. Okay, have fun, you two.
Did you tell him yet?
No. But I think it's beginning to penetrate.
Maybe we should just get it over with.
Didn't you say patience was an important part of your plan? Let's not rush things.
You're pretty hard to locate these days, Andy.
Well, let's stay on the move, you know. Cops. Somebody sneezes wrong in this town, they step on my neck.
How long you been out this time?
6 months, and I'm staying clean, too.
Good idea. 5 jobs, 5 convictions. You're batting 1,000, Andy.
But no more. I mean it. $50?
I want you to pull a small job for me.
What?
A hypothetical job. Supposing you cracked a safe and came away real big, like $500,000 in gold. You can't get a fence in town to talk to you, which I know you can't, because last time you were trying to sell hot stones to a detective in San Pedro.
Hey, that was a bum rap, entrapment.
The point is, Andy, you're bad news. You need in-between connections.
Hey, I'm sliced 16 ways before I even meet the man.
$500,000, Andy. You can't have any more than 2 or 3 fences in the whole town who can handle a score that big.
Metal, huh? That's something special. Top of my head, I couldn't even guess.
How would you start?
Ask around. Promise a cut.
I'll be at this number all night. Think you can come up with a couple of names by morning?
Maybe. If, there was some sort of bonus.
You come up with the right name by breakfast and another $100 for you.
100? Don't leave that phone.
Come on, get that stuff moved in here. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the fence?
He wants it delivered. And certainly not in that van.
Well, nobody spotted that van. Look, Andrew. Come on. Stop talking and start unloading. You know, I don't like this. You said whoever it is would be here with the cash. It's waiting. $250,000. You didn't say we'd be moving around with it. Slight change of plans. You want this deal or don't you? You know what I want is a personal meeting, like where's the cash and that type of thing. Load that trunk. There isn't any fence, is there? I mean, there never was. Load it. Why so greedy, Andre? You're beautiful. I'll bet your partner wondered about the same thing before you killed him. Move it. No, that was different. I always thought that Nate would blow to the cops. He wasn't a good liar.
You thinking of retiring?
A couple of these I might be able to.
What brought you down here?
Somebody slipped me the word that Roger might be a good man to talk to. I was on my way to see him when the news came in.
Who slipped you the word?
Andy Burns. That's all he had. Looks like I bought the name of a dead man. What'd the coroner have to say?
Well, sometime between 11 and 3. Watchman down the way thought he heard backfiring around midnight, so that should be it.
Ever hear of Roger fencing?
No, it's a percentage man. Maybe he was here fixing price, and the thief didn't like it. If the thief is that rough, he's no amateur, and you owe me a lunch.
Now, hold on. Case isn't closed yet.
Every Eagle employee, past and present's been checked. Rule out an inside job, I start looking for pro. Happy hunting, Barnaby.
There you go.
Could be improved with a little rum, Mr. Jones.
This is fine. You work real long hours, don't you, Al?
A couple of hours in the morning, 8 to 2 at night.
I know you've been all over this with the police, but think about last night. Who did Mr. Roger talk to?
I don't recall anything except the usual glad-handing.
No strangers? Nobody you hadn't seen before?
Oh, we might have a strange face or two, but mainly our trade is regulars. It's all by reservation. And if Mr. Roger doesn't know you, chances are you don't eat here.
They keep a reservation book?
Oh, sure.
You sure do make a tasty milkshake. Could I see it? The book.
Oh, yeah, sure. It's right over there. Help yourself. It's mostly all steadies.
Do they have a private listing for reservation?
Not that I know of.
Mitchell. Is that Mitch Mitchell?
Yeah, he runs a jewelry business.
Party of two. Do you happen to remember who was with him?
Oh, did I? Not a doll like he's generally with. She was sort of on the plain side, about 32, 35, reddish hair. Joe, the maitre d' said she works for him.
Mary.
You told me to come by this morning.
Right. Come on in. I had a terrible night last night. Want a drink?
At this time of morning?
It's not exactly a drink, you know. Lime, clam tomato juice, pepper, raw egg, and a little vodka.
No, thank you.
You know, Mary, I'm not exactly in the mood to work today. Why don't you just go on to the office?
Were we really going to work or just talk? You always seem to be on the verge of talking about something, but it never gets very far before you're off and running again.
Yeah. That talk. You know, Mary, you're really a very attractive girl. And
why don't we start out by being honest with each other?
Now what? Hey, make yourself comfortable.
Good morning.
Well, anything that can wait?
I was wondering if you were aware the police had recovered some of your platinum.
No, I didn't know. How much did they find?
Mr. Wayne? One button. It's about $5,000, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, they catch the thief?
Please don't think so. You knew the restaurateur Roger, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, slightly. It's sort of a hello acquaintance. Why?
He was killed last night. They think he was dealing for the platinum.
Well, I can't believe it. Roger mixed up in something like this?
You left this place about 9:30 last night. Is that right?
Yeah, I started out to meet a buyer, and I didn't feel too good, so I decided to come home instead. Why do you ask?
Well, they figure he was killed about midnight. Police are probably going to be asking a lot of people a lot of questions, and they might even, ask you to account for your time.
No problem here. I was home alone.
Well, being familiar with police procedure, they might ask for some sort of proof.
What do you mean, proof?
Perhaps the whole matter could be simplified by accounting for my time, Mr. Jones. I was with Mr. Mitchell the whole night. Thank you, Mitch. But I don't think my reputation would suffer too much. Any other questions, Mr. Jones?
No, I don't think so.
You know, Jones, you seem to be rather suspicious of me. Are you aware that I was boarding a plane at 7:30 that Saturday, in the air at 8, and meeting a buyer at the airport in New York City?
It reminds me, you took a flight with 2 stopovers. Why didn't you fly direct?
I had a lot of work to catch up on. No telephones, no business calls, no intrusions. You see, Jones, that 7 hours in the air gave me the opportunity to put in 7 solid hours of work with no interruptions.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wayne.
Hey, Jones. If I, seem a little irritable, I want you to know that the work's getting to me.
We all have off days.
You're quite a girl, Friday. Thanks a lot. That could have been embarrassing.
That could have been your neck.
What are you talking about?
I know everything. I overheard Nate telling you more than 3 months ago what had to be done to save the company.
Well, how little I understand women.
How could you? You've never known a real woman.
Ouch. That hurts. Mary.
Mitch, you know the trouble with you? You've always been too busy being the charmer. You've got no real business sense, like peddling that metal through Roger. Why deal with the underworld when there are businessmen just as crooked as you are?
You got mine, Mary.
A buyer once hinted to you that your license to buy industrial gold could work to your advantage.
Can't recall him.
Yes, that was the day you were busy hiring a new filing clerk, partial to wearing miniskirts and tight-fitting sweaters.
What do you want, Mary?
What am I offered?
$25,000. That's a reasonable figure.
I'd hoped I'd be worth more than that to you.
Well, I must admit, Mary, I don't understand you.
I know you don't.
Mary, what, I mean, when you knew what was going to happen, what were your real feelings?
At first, a sense of shock. And I don't know. It excited me. Something happening I wasn't prepared for.
When Nate was shot?
Again. Fear of you. And then... You're an exciting man, Mitch.
You know, Mary, I think we're going to get along just fine.
I'm sure of it.
She was lying, Betty. I touched the hood of her car. It was still warm. She probably drove up just before I did.
She could have driven out for cigarettes.
No. Her confession surprised him as much as it did me.
He wasn't prepared for such an alibi?
No, if she'd been in on it from the beginning, they'd have had their story down pat.
Barnaby, Mitchell was on a plane to New York during the robbery.
Loading time was 7:30. He could have checked in, handed over his ticket, mingled with the people in the waiting area, and left. By 8 o'clock, he could have been back at the jewelry company. The robbery and the murder took 5 minutes, and he's away. He drives the Platinum to some place that they have agreed upon in advance, back to the airport, gets on a nonstop flight to New York under an assumed name.
Arriving at the same time the two-stop flight got in.
Simple matter to walk over to the other gate and meet his buyer.
Do you really think both partners were in on it?
They had to be, Betty. That's the only thing that explains the short time it took to load the Platinum. No one guy was holding a gun on the other. They were both loading it. Only one thing. Where does Mary Duane fit in? And why was Mitchell so surprised when she gave him an alibi for that night?
Well, there's very little on her. There's very little to get. She lives alone, never dates. As a matter of fact, I came up with only one woman friend, a neighbor, Mrs. Andrews, who runs a little TV store.
Only one thing that makes sense. If Mary Duane had recognized Mitchell behind the mask that day, that would explain their sudden dating, getting together.
hate to be in her shoes if she's holding that information over a killer's head, blackmailing him.
I have a feeling that Mary Duane can take care of herself in the clinches.
You're early. I thought we were going to meet for lunch.
I thought maybe we'd take a little drive, you know, have lunch somewhere along the way on the road.
And how lonely would this road be?
What?
I think I feel more comfortable in the city, Mitch.
I guess we'll stop playing games, Mary. Come on out to the car.
Oh, listen, before we go, this might interest you.
Sorry, we don't have the time.
Something new they've come out with. It's really marvelous. A TV camera and receiver for home use.
The car? Never want to torture somebody, stick this mask on them. My voice okay?
Good. See if the van is positioned right.
I knew it would happen that morning. Nate asking me to be sure to open early, and you supposedly on that plane. It was an hour-and-a-half tape. I had it fixed and running before you and Nate even went into your act. There is, of course, a duplicate. One that will find its way into the hands of the police if I should die or disappear. You're not the suicidal type, Mitch, and that's what you'd be doing.
You know, Mary, you must feel real pleased with yourself.
I'm not proud of what I did, Mitch. I thought about it and thought about it. Told myself it was crazy. But I think way down deep, I thought it was a way of getting closer to you. We worked together for so long, Mitch. I did have feelings that I couldn't help but think of you. Often. And I knew you'd need help from the beginning. I'll be sharing all your problems now.
You're my problem.
Oh, no, you mustn't think of it like that. It's a game. Thrilling and exciting. And what's ahead is exciting. And we'll have so many things to share.
Note how compact this camera is. But why not browse? Take your time. Any questions, just call on me. Well, Mary and I really got to know each other when we discovered we had a common interest. She's a lovely person, just lovely.
I've only known her a short time.
She became absolutely fanatic about the new videotape systems, experimenting with different lighting and various angles. In fact, here's a tape Mary made herself. She shot this through a mirror. She was constantly experimenting.
Through a mirror.
Well, Mary claimed you could use a mirror with self-conscious subjects, like my grandchildren. Now, you try to pose grandchildren.
Miss Andrews, would it be difficult to make a duplicate of a tape?
Now, that's strange. You were the second person within an hour to ask that question.
We'll find the second who was the first.
Well, maybe you know him. Mr. Mitchell, he's Mary's boss.
Mr. Mitchell. Did Mary make a duplicate recently?
She sure did. But as I told Mr. Mitchell, I never saw it.
Trouble?
No, but the time is short. The Platinum is at a beach house. Mitch wants me to meet him there at 7 and move it elsewhere.
How'd you get the location out of him?
We are on friendly terms. Hey, you're jealous. V. It's sweet.
Just simple trust, huh?
No. He buys the fact that we're partners. He needs me as much as I need him. Hey, you are jealous. I like that.
Change is all the women want. What's different? What's different?
Mr. Benson, these security mirrors, they're all fixed in place, aren't they? I mean, usually.
They're supposed to be. I see that one's moved around.
Thanks. Mr. Wayne's office looks like a windstorm hit it.
Yeah, Mr. Mitchell was in here looking for a package. Mary left.
What kind of a package?
He just said it was small. Mary put it away for safekeeping.
Did you describe the package? What size?
Well, about so. You know the package?
My answering service. I just got the message.
Just a second.
The service said you mentioned the package.
I can't stand designing jewelry I don't like. It's not modern. It's tasteless.
Sam, you found a package I was looking for?
What's so important about a little package? Mr. Mitchell, it's not healthy for a man to be so intense. Today's troubles you laugh at tomorrow.
Sam, you find a package or didn't you?
Yes. I was returning a file to Mary's office, and it was so messy, I decided to neaten it up.
Well, just show me, okay? I mean, it's not important, and maybe it is important. I don't know.
It's not in Mary's office.
What?
I've got it right here. I found it behind a box of staples in the bottom of the back.
Well, thanks, Sam. She's in a hurry. Make up your mind how much to cut Mitch in for?
I think 0 would be a nice number. How long will it take disposing of it?
6 weeks, no longer. I don't believe it. It's unbelievable. Both of you. Both of you in on this. It's incredible. Might be wise for you to put that away. They do go off, you know. Yeah, indeed they do. Indeed they do. Well, how long's this been going on? You two?
Christmas a year ago. Neither one of us had anything very special to do after the office party, so I made Christmas dinner for us. And now, there are wedding plans.
Well, that's nice. Very nice. But you, might have to change those plans.
What's that?
That. Helpful Sam. He found it for me.
Sam?
What's he talking about?
I haven't the faintest idea.
You've got a bad memory, Mary. It's your precious duplicate.
Duplicate?
The duplicate was mailed to me. I've got it locked away. No, Sam. We found it straightening up his office. So don't tell me this isn't it.
That's right, Mitch. It isn't. Dropped a gun.
So this is your ploy, Jones.
Just consider it a little gift. Another gift for you, Miss Duane. You'll be happy to know that your friend Sam is still your good and firm friend. After I explained it to him, he agreed with me that it was better for you to do a little cell time than for us to stumble over your body somewhere. Get me the police.
All I'm saying is you could have phoned before heading up to that beach house.
Did you ever follow Mitchell in a car? He hit 100 in a couple of places.
What charges can you bring against Mary Duane and Smith?
Grand theft, conspiracy, obtaining stolen goods.
But neither one of them had any prior record?
Nope, first time in the bullpen.
Well, if Mitchell didn't have any prior record either, then it seems to me that everybody involved in the robbery of that vault is an amateur.
Yeah, that's, I guess that's one way to put it.
Chapter 1. The afternoon sun hit the high-rise windows at an angle, casting long, sharp shadows across the floor of Mitchell and Turner Incorporated. Inside the vault room, the air was cool, smelling faintly of polished metal and machine oil. Mary Duane stood near the tall steel door, her hands trembling slightly as she adjusted her sleeve. "Mr. Turner, we want to talk to you about the..." Before the sentence could be finished, a figure moved fast from the shadows. The cold snout of a revolver glinted in the overhead light. "Touch that alarm button and you're dead," a heavy, muffled voice rasped through a dark, thick rubber mask. Nate Turner froze. His face went gray, his breathing shallow and rapid. "You better do exactly as she says, Mary." "You, take her hands behind her back," the voice commanded, turning toward Nate. "Come on." Mary looked at Nate, her wide eyes reflecting total disbelief. "Lady, you got a key in that closet?" the intruder snapped. "In the middle drawer of the desk," Mary whispered, her voice barely audible. Nate stepped closer, his hands shaking violently as he brought her wrists together. "Is this really necessary?" he asked, his voice cracked with strain. "Do it," the masked man barked. Nate bound her wrists with heavy tape, avoiding her eyes. "You can take her mouth, too." "Mary, I'm sorry," Nate muttered under his breath, wrapping the silver tape over her lips. "It'll be all right." The intruder shoved Nate toward the center of the vault room. "Lady, come on, you over here. Come on, move it. You in the ballroom, come on, move it." Minutes later, the heavy wooden door of the supply closet slammed shut, leaving Mary in complete darkness. Outside, the silence lasted only a moment before the heavy iron boxes of high-purity industrial platinum began to move. Far across town, near the access road behind the warehouse district, a gray commercial van sat idling under the shadow of an overpass. The driver glanced repeatedly at the clock on the dashboard. "Never want to torture somebody. Stick this mask on." The man in the passenger seat grunted, pulling off the rubber face piece and wiping sweat from his forehead. My voice okay? Good, the driver replied, his eyes fixed on the rearview mirror. You making that point on time? Come on, Nate. Stop worrying, the passenger said, settling back into his seat. My ulcer's acting up as it is. Now, just drive careful. Stay under the speed limit. Come on, Nate. We've been over this 100 times, the passenger grumbled, pulling a sleek leather jacket over his shoulders. Now, don't get impatient. You're always impatient. You better take me now. You're making it more realistic, Nate, the man said smoothly. What? We're partners. Nate turned his head slowly, catching the metallic glint in the passenger's hand a fraction of a second before the sound shattered the quiet inside the van. Nate, I'm sorry, the man murmured softly, stepping out into the cool air and pulling his luggage from the rear. I'm sorry, but you wouldn't last 2 minutes with some hard-nosed cop asking questions. Now, business has to go on, commitments, all that. Chapter 2. The lounge at the Manhattan terminal was loud, filled with the constant chatter of travelers and the chime of departure announcements. Mitch Mitchell adjusted his golden cufflinks, holding a heavy glass of scotch in his left hand while holding a public receiver to his ear with his right. If you're not free for dinner tonight, I'll strangle Mitch, a sharp voice laughed on the other end of the line. Chuck, you gotta be kidding, Mitch laughed into the receiver, his tone full of charm and easy grace. There's no word to describe the way I felt. I was in New York meeting with a gentleman's fire when I got the word. He paused, listening to the caller, his broad smile perfectly fixed. You betcha, Frank. Anytime, bye. He dropped the phone back onto its cradle, his face hardening instantly into an expression of sheer exhaustion. He walked back into the private executive suite where several local buyers and hostesses were gathered around a sleek mahogany table. If that phone rings again, I'll climb the wall, Mitch groaned, reaching for the shaker. Scotch and soda. With a twist, right? The bartender asked. Mitch turned to the room with a wide, open-handed gesture. Hey, look, girls, help yourselves to the bar. Smitty, George, lend the ladies a hand. It's get-acquainted time. The hum of music and laughter filled the room as Mitch maneuvered himself toward the doorway. A tall, silver-haired man in a crisp suit was standing by the reception counter, holding a thin leather notebook under his arm. His expression was calm, observant, and completely unhurried. Come on, Mitch called out, stepping forward with an outstretched hand. Mr. Mitchell, I'm Barnaby Jones. Yeah, the insurance company mentioned you in the case. Come on in, Mitch said, gesturing toward his private office. Thank you. The telephone on the corner desk chimed loudly. Mitch flinched, staring at it with intense irritation. That phone. He walked over to a marble ice bucket sitting on the side table. Hey, I haven't had a bite today. Think I'll mix a little nourishment. What's your pleasure, Jones? Oh, nothing for me. Thanks, Barnaby replied gently, his sharp eyes scanning the room, taking in every detail from the polished floorboards to the delicate balance of the heavy curtains. If I'm intruding, Oh, no, just a couple of buyers checking on my... Mitch cut himself off as the telephone rang again. That phone's driving me crazy. Come on, Jones, join me in a drink. The ringing continued. Mitch shook his head in frustration. Phone. Yeah. Hey, come on, my partner's dead 3 days, and I'm talking to a couple of luscious. He shook his head, looking down at his glass. You're out of your skull, Gloria. Sorry, Jones. What do you have? Oh, nothing for me. Thanks, Barnaby repeated softly. Well, I probably know less about that robbery than anybody, Mitch said, pouring himself another shot. I wasn't even here on a plane heading for New York. Well, the police report had all the facts, so I'm not going to take you over any old ground, Mr. Mitchell, Barnaby said, taking a slow step toward the window. I just wondered whether you had given any thought to the crudeness of the theft. Had you any ideas on that? Mitch turned quickly, his eyebrows raised. Crude? In and out of my place with $500,000 in platinum in less than 3 minutes? Come on, Jones. Well, I mean crude in the sense that there are a lot of things left to chance, Barnaby explained calmly, crossing his hands behind his back. For instance, That vault had a time lock activated at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at, Jones, Mitch said, waving his glass dismissively. But, well, you know, it's inventory time. We take it on Saturday. And Nate could have been looking for some of the records we keep at the vault. And your silent alarm, Barnaby added, his tone conversational. Concealed buttons all over the place. A real pro would have seen to it that security system was neutralized the very first thing. Mitch set his glass down hard on the counter, reaching into his pocket for a white bottle of antacid tablets. Only thing I can drink. Ulcers. He swallowed 2 pills before turning back to the investigator. You know what, Jones? I've been thinking. If that guy was waving a gun around, he probably knew Nate was scared. Wouldn't touch any buttons. I see, Barnaby said softly. You see, Jones, I want to cooperate any way I can, Mitch said, stepping closer and lowering his voice. I'm a busy man. Got 1,000 things on my mind. Well, I'm not going to bother you anymore, Mr. Mitchell, Barnaby said, offering a small, reassuring smile. I really just wanted you to know that I'm going to be underfoot for a while. Exactly what we hired to do, Jones, Mitch snapped, though his eyes darted nervously toward the door. Cover all the bases for California Meridian Insurance. You see, if this does turn out to be an inside job, Barnaby continued, watching Mitch's reaction carefully. I mean, one of your employees say, well, then the bonding company would, have to bear some of the liability. Huh. Well, I hate to think of one of our people committing such a crime, Mitch said quickly. Barnaby paused at the doorway, turning slightly. Mr. Turner, your, partner, he wasn't really a physical man, was he? Nate? Strictly a desk man. That's another strange thing, Barnaby said, his voice dropping an octave. He did everything that the thief told him to do. He taped Miss Duane. He opened up the vault, gave him all the platinum, and then for some reason he, struggled with the thief. I don't know. Maybe he, thought he had a chance to pounce on him. Make a try. Mitch rubbed his temples with 2 fingers, looking thoroughly exhausted. Hey, Jones, my head's like a block of cement. Could we chat about this some other time? Fine. Barnaby nodded smoothly. There's just one last thing. Your bookkeeper, Miss Duane, she seems to be, giving a more accurate description of the man. Mitch froze. Well, coveralls and mask is how she described him to me. Well, she seems to think now that, he was much taller than she figured originally, Barnaby said, leaning gently against the doorframe. Well, over 6 feet with great massive shoulders, a bit like a wrestler. Can you think of anyone who answered that description that you or your partner may have known? Not offhand, Mitch said flatly. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell, for your time, Barnaby said, stepping out into the corridor. I'll let myself out. Sure thing, Jem, Mitch called out, misnaming him entirely as he turned back to the bar with an unsteady hand. Chapter 3. Down at the police precinct, the heat was suffocating. Paperwork was piled high on the desks, and the air smelled of stale coffee and ink. Police Lieutenant Sam Jackson leaned back in his swivel chair, tossing a pencil onto his blotter as Barnaby walked in. Bit like a wrestler, Sam snorted, looking up from the case file. I lost the lunch betting on a game Sunday. Should have checked with me first. Barnaby smiled faintly, taking a seat across from him. Talk to the other partner, Mitch Mitchell? Yeah, there's a busy man, Sam chuckled, shaking his head. Talking to him is like having a conversation with a nervous kangaroo. It's a candidate for a heart attack. That's the jewelry manufacturing business, Barnaby noted dryly. I don't think I want any part of it. You want to lose another lunch, Lieutenant? I'd like to bet that this was an amateur job. Nah, it's too clean, Sam replied, slapping his hand on the desk. You're on. Did you talk to Mitch about the cloisonné enamel, Sam? Too competitive, he says. A detective passing by called out over the sound of typing. Buys $500,000 on platinum and says enamel. Too competitive? Go figure that out. I'll talk to him first chance I get, Sam said, standing up and reaching for his jacket. If you can catch him in one spot long enough. An hour later, Barnaby arrived back at the off-site offices of Mitchell and Turner. The main showroom was quiet, save for the rhythmic tapping of a typewriter in the rear office. Mary Duane looked up as Barnaby stepped through the glass doors. "Miss Duane?" Barnaby asked politely. "Barnaby Jones, I called earlier." "Oh, yes, Mr. Jones," Mary said, offering a tight, polished smile as she stood up from her typewriter. "Come right in. Don't want to intrude on your lunch period?" "That's perfectly all right," she replied, gesturing toward a chair. "How can I help you?" Barnaby glanced around the room, his eyes landing on the tall wooden door in the back. "This is where the masked robber locked you up?" "Yes," Mary said, her eyes dropping slightly. I didn't know whether to be frightened or relieved. On the one hand, being locked in a closet, but yet at least his intentions didn't seem to include hurting me. "How would you describe his manner?" Barnaby asked softly. "Was he nervous as opposed to being cool?" "Very cool," Mary answered promptly. "I fancy he's somebody with considerable experience in robbery." "Considerable experience?" Barnaby echoed, raising an eyebrow. "Oh, yes," Mary nodded. "I'd say he was very professional." "I wonder if I could look at your vault room," Barnaby said, standing up. "Of course," she said, leading the way down the narrow corridor. "I suppose since you were locked up in the closet in there, you didn't hear much of what happened out here." When the shot was fired, Barnaby walked inside the concrete room, pausing right at the heavy threshold. He pulled out a small gold pocket watch, clicked it open, and looked at the ticking hands. "Miss Duane, how much time would you estimate we spent just now talking in your office?" Mary blinked, caught off guard. "Oh, about 2 minutes." "Why?" "That's about the same amount of time you said you were locked in the closet when you heard the gunshot," Barnaby said quietly, closing the pocket watch with a soft click. "About 2 minutes? Is there something wrong with my answers, Mr. Jones?" "No, you're doing just fine," Barnaby assured her with a gentle smile. At one point, it seemed strange the speed with which the robber worked. Now, he got into that vault. He transferred 100 pounds of platinum out that door to a waiting vehicle all in the space of 2 minutes. "Very professional, as I said. Can I get out that way?" "Yes, of course," Mary said, pointing toward a side emergency exit. "Silent alarm?" Barnaby asked, nodding toward a small chrome plate near the lock. "Yes, it is." "Thank you very much," Barnaby said, walking toward the door. "You're very welcome, Mr. Jones," she replied softly. Before Barnaby reached the door, the office interphone chimed loudly from the front desk. Mary turned quickly and picked it up. "No." She paused, listening to a high-pitched voice on the line. "Oh, one moment. It's Sweeney. He doesn't like his discount." Mitchell stepped out of his inner office, looking flushed and annoyed. "Hang up on him." "All right," Mary said into the phone, her voice smooth and professional once more. "Tell him everything's taken care of. A new billing will be sent to you, Mr. Sweeney." "No, it's our pleasure. Goodbye." Mitch ran a hand through his graying hair, walking past Barnaby as if the investigator were invisible. "You know, I feel like a one-armed juggler. Any news from Johannesburg yet?" "None, and I've wired again," Mary reported, pulling a sheet of paper from a leather binder. "Oh, would you rip that thing out or something like that?" Mitch barked. "Eagle?" Mary asked, holding up a second cable. Yes, he's, One moment," Mitch interrupted as another line buzzed. "It's too late. You'll have to talk to him." He paused, finally catching sight of Barnaby standing near the hallway display cases. "What's Jones doing here?" "I thought he left." "It's the buyer from Wilson's," Mary explained, handing Mitch a golden folder before stepping over to an elderly craftsman working at a long wooden bench near the window. Barnaby walked over to the craftsman, watching as the man carefully set small gems into a gold band. "That's how it all starts," Barnaby noted gently. "A sheet of paper." The old craftsman, Mr. Benson, looked up and smiled through his thick magnifying spectacles. "Oh, it starts long before that, Mr. Jones. Long conferences on trends, availability of metal, stones. Feelers on to the buyers." "You work mostly in gold?" Barnaby asked, reaching out to lightly touch the edge of the workbench. "Gold's a staple," Mr. Benson replied, his fingers working with delicate precision. Never out of fashion. I understand you've been with the company a long time. 14 years, Benson said with a touch of pride. Started off with just 3 of us. Mr. Turner, married back then myself. A nice, friendly feeling. Mr. Mitchell came in 9 years ago as salesman, then bought in. Barnaby stroked his chin thoughtfully. You know what's curious to me, Mr. Benson? Why so much platinum on hand? That was Mr. Turner's idea, Benson sighed, setting down his small pliers. Before it goes up, he said. I said, speculating in the jewelry business is bad luck, and it cost him his life. Thanks, Barnaby said warmly. You're welcome, Benson replied, returning to his work. Chapter 4. In the inner office, Mitch slammed his desk drawer shut, his hands shaking as he looked out the blinds at Barnaby. They know very little, Mary said quietly from behind him, her voice entirely devoid of panic. Mitch spun around, his jaw tense. What are you talking about? The police and Mr. Jones, she said calmly, leaning against the edge of his heavy mahogany desk. They really know very little. Jones told me you gave a more complete description of the robber. Mitch frowned, his eyes narrowing. Yes, I was a little confused when I first described him, remembering just that terrible mask. But I became more composed after Mr. Turner was buried. He was really a very big man, almost a head taller than you. Much, much heavier. Mitch took a step closer to her, his tone shifting, becoming calculated and warm. You know, Mary, I'm going to be depending on you a lot more now. Running the company alone. I want you to take on more responsibility. Of course, Mr. Mitchell, she said softly. Maybe, Mitch began, touching her shoulder lightly. We can discuss it at dinner tonight. All right, Mary nodded, her lips curving into a subtle smile. Make a reservation at Rogers. You know, Mitch added, lowering his voice further, the insurance company may be looking for ways not to pay off from the platinum. You know, on the grounds that Nate was a little careless that morning. What I mean, Mary, is, Jones works for them. So maybe we shouldn't go out of our way to cooperate with him. That's exactly the way I feel, Mary said, looking straight into his eyes. Later that evening, the neon sign of Rogers' restaurant cast a long crimson glow across the wet pavement. Inside, the dining room was quiet, filled with the aroma of roasted meats and rich red wines. Mitch sat in a corner booth, staring down at his plate while Mary sat across from him, elegantly dressed. Near the doorway, Barnaby Jones sat at a small table, sipping a highball glass filled with clear ice and yellow liquid. His associate, Betty, sat across from him, adjusting her sweater. I'm in a Pulitzer Prize, Betty joked lightly, pointing at her salad.
Yeah.
You want one? Oh, no. Thank you. Barnaby chuckled softly. My waistline would never forgive me. I will take a sippy of your lemonade. Oh, Betty smiled, handing him her glass. The nicest young man at the credit rating bureau said I had the loveliest eyes. That's a sign he has good judgment, Barnaby said warmly, taking a small sip before setting the glass down. Did you get into that list I left you? I checked all of the employees he circled, Betty reported, pulling a small notepad from her purse. Nothing yet. What about Mitchell? Did you double-check him? Yes, Barnaby said, nodding slowly. He was on a flight to New York at the time of the robbery. Flight 522, departure 8 o'clock, with 2 stopovers, Salt Lake City and Chicago. Stopover. Betty repeated, her eyebrows rising. Arrival, New York, 3:42. Wouldn't look at Mitchell. It's hard to see him taking anything but direct flight. You know, I've been trying to put myself in the place of that thief, Barnaby said, leaning back and resting his elbow on the table. If I were a professional, I would have grabbed that bookkeeper the minute she opened the place. Then I would have seen to it that all the alarms were cut off and sat there and waited for one of the partners to show up. Which leaves you with your amateur theory, Betty noted. I'm babysitting a $500 million worth of platinum, Barnaby murmured, his eyes tracking the patrons in the room. Did I make a connection before the robbery? Talk to a fence? Likely not. A fence would have been too smart to talk directly to a non-pro about a robbery that hadn't happened yet. If I'd gotten caught, I might have pulled him down too. Do you have some idea of what your next move would be? Betty asked, leaning in. Sure, Barnaby said softly. I'd ask around, look for a middleman. Maybe even somebody on the lowest rung of the ladder. That lowest rung might be a good place to start. Across the dining room, Mary Duane took a small sip of water, looking around at the plush velvet lining the walls. Isn't it strange? She mused gently. In all the years I've been making reservations for you here, I've never once been here myself. Yeah, good food, Mitch muttered, looking around nervously. I envy your life, Mr. Mitchell, Mary said, her eyes fixed on his face. Knowing everybody, able to mix with any company. Haven't you ever thought of getting married? Plenty of time for that, Mitch said dismissively, adjusting his necktie. Listen, back to business. He suddenly paused, looking over her shoulder toward the bar. Hey, just a minute, huh? Mind if I use your phone, Andre? The maitre d' bowed politely. Help yourself. Ready whenever you want. Mitch walked quickly to the wall phone near the kitchen corridor, pulling out a handful of silver coins. He dialed rapidly, his knuckles white. The powerhouse on Olson Road. A voice rasped through the earpiece the moment the connection went through. Exactly midnight. Who am I meeting? Mitch demanded under his breath. I'll have him with me, the caller said flatly. Doesn't leave me much time, Mitch grumbled, glancing at his watch. I have to leave now to pick it up. Midnight or it's off. The receiver went dead. Mitch slammed the receiver back onto the hook and turned around, only to bump directly into a middle-aged man holding a glass of draft beer. Smitty, Mitch gasped, stepping back in surprise. Oh, good evening, Mr. Mitchell, Smitty said, looking somewhat abashed.
No, Mitch.
Make it Mitch, Mitch said quickly, slapping the man on the shoulder. Hey, what are you doing here? I didn't know you knew your way around town. It's sort of an in place, huh? Well, I was talking with your, Miss Duane this afternoon about places to dine, Smitty explained with a humble grin, and she recommended Rochelle. In fact, she got me the reservation. Hey, well, listen, just tell the maitre d' it's on me, Mitch said, turning toward his table before stopping himself. Hey, Smitty, what happened with that bin? You know, that chick I lined you up with. Oh, I lead a very quiet life, Mr. Mitchell, Smitty said quietly, lowering his eyes. Mitch grabbed him by the elbow, dragging him toward the corner booth. Hey, do me a favor, will you, Smitty? Come on over to my table. Come on. I've got Marie Duane with me, and something's come up. You understand? Come on. They reached the table, where Mary looked up in quiet surprise. Well, you two know each other, Mitch said smoothly, sliding out of the booth. Well, come on, Smitty. Sit down. Smitty took a seat hesitantly next to Mary. Mitch leaned over the table, smiling brightly. Look, Marie, why don't you and Smitty have dinner together? You know, the best of everything. Champagne or that. I just managed to contact the supplier. He's got a leak down within an hour and I gotta talk to him. And, Marie, about that little business discussion of ours. Start buying that place in the morning when it breaks, and we'll see if we can't make some headway. Okay? Have fun, you two. Without waiting for a response, Mitch turned on his heel and rushed out into the cool night air. Mary watched him leave, her expression perfectly serene. She turned to Smitty, who was looking awkwardly at his hands. Did you tell him yet? Smitty asked quietly. No, Mary said softly, but I think it's beginning to penetrate. Maybe we should just get it over with, Smitty suggested, looking uncomfortable in the luxury of the dining room. Didn't you say patience was an important part of your plan? Mary asked, resting her chin on her hand. Let's not rush things. Chapter 5. In a dark alley behind an industrial park on Olson Road, a small, ratty sedan sat parked under a broken street lamp. Inside, a small-time criminal named Andy Burns sat shivering in his worn coat, smoking a cheap cigarette. The door opened and Barnaby Jones stepped inside, sitting calmly in the passenger seat. You're pretty hard to locate these days, Andy, Barnaby said gently. Well, let's stay on the move, you know, Andy grunted, flicking his ashes out the window. Cops. Somebody sneezes wrong in this town. They step on my neck. How long you been out this time? Barnaby asked. 6 months, and I'm staying clean, too. Andy snapped defensively. Good idea. Barnaby nodded with a slight smile. 5 jobs, 5 convictions. You're batting 1,000, Andy. But no more, Andy insisted, shaking his head. I mean it. Barnaby pulled a $50 bill from his pocket, holding it between his middle fingers. 50? Andy eyed the bill greedily. I want you to pull a small job for me, Barnaby said.
What?
A hypothetical job, Barnaby explained, his voice even and patient. Supposing you cracked a safe and came away real big, like $500,000 in gold. You can't get a fence in town to talk to you, which I know you can't, because last time you were trying to sell hot stones to a detective in San Pedro. Hey, that was a bum rap, Andy protested loudly. Entrapment. The point is, Andy, you're bad news, Barnaby said sternly. You need in-between connections. I'm sliced 16 ways before I even meet the man, Andy grumbled, rubbing his face. $500,000, Andy, Barnaby reminded him softly. You can't have any more than 2 or 3 fences in the whole town who can handle a score that big. Metal, huh? Andy muttered, scratching his chin. That's something special. Top of my head, I couldn't even guess. How would you start? Ask around, Andy said. Promise a cut. Barnaby handed him a card with a local phone number written on it. I'll be at this number all night. Think you can come up with a couple of names by morning? Maybe, Andy said, squinting at the card.
If,
There was some sort of bonus. You come up with the right name by breakfast, there's another $100 for you, Barnaby offered. $100? Andy's eyes widened. Don't leave that phone. Less than an hour later, on a deserted stretch of road near an abandoned electrical powerhouse, Andy stood waiting next to the rear doors of a commercial van. A heavy black sedan pulled up, its headlights cutting through the darkness. Mitch Mitchell stepped out, accompanied by an imposing figure in a heavy dark coat. That stuff moves in here, Mitch ordered, waving his arm toward the powerhouse entrance. Hey, wait a minute. Where's the fence? Andy asked, stepping back nervously. He wants it delivered, Mitch lied glibly.
And certainly not in that van.
Nobody spotted that van. Look, Andrew, the heavy-set man said, stepping forward with an open wooden crate. Come on. Stop talking and start unloading. You know, I don't like this, Andy growled, backing away further. You said whoever it is would be here with the cash. It's waiting, Mitch snapped, pointing into the shadows. $250,000. You didn't say we'd be moving around with it. Just wanted a change of plans, Mitch said smoothly. You want this dealer, don't you? You know, what I want is a personal meeting, like where's the cash, that type of thing. Andy spat, setting down his end of the metal box. Load that truck, the heavy-set man commanded. Andy froze, his eyes narrowing as he looked between the two men. There isn't any fence, is there? I mean, there never was. Load it, Mitch insisted, stepping closer. Why so greedy, Andrew? How beautiful, Andy whispered, realization dawning on his face. I'll bet your partner wondered about the same thing. Before you killed him. Move it, Mitch snarled. Well, that was different, Andy sneered, backing toward a sedan. I always thought that Nate would blow to the cops. He wasn't a good liar. Mitch reached into his heavy overcoat. A sharp crack echoed off the concrete walls of the powerhouse, sending birds scattering into the night sky. Andy Burns collapsed against the fender of his car, sliding slowly to the asphalt. You thinking of retiring? The heavy-set man grunted, looking down at the fallen figure. A couple of these, I might be able to, Mitch muttered, staring at his gun before slipping it back into his pocket. Chapter 6. By early morning, police cruisers surrounded the powerhouse, their lights painting the dull concrete walls in red and blue. Barnaby stood near the chalk outline on the ground, talking with Lieutenant Sam Jackson while the coroner's crew worked nearby. What brought you down here? Sam asked, wrapping his scarf tighter against the chilly morning air. Somebody slipped me the word that Roger might be a good man to talk to, Barnaby explained softly, looking down at the dark stain on the pavement. I was on my way to see him when the news came in. Who slipped you the word? Andy Burns, Barnaby said with a heavy sigh. That's all he had, Sam grunted, looking at his notebook. Looks like I bought the name of a dead man. What did the coroner have to say? Barnaby asked. Sometime between 11 and 3, watchmen down the way thought he heard backfiring around midnight, so that should be it, Sam reported. Ever hear of Roger Fencing? Nah, he's a percentage man, Barnaby noted, scanning the tire tracks on the dirt road. Maybe he was here fixing price, and the thief didn't like it. If the thief is that rough, he's no amateur, and you owe me a lunch. Oh, no, Sam said quickly, shaking his finger. Case isn't closed yet. Every Eagle employee past and present's been checked. Rule out an inside job. I start looking for pro, Barnaby mused. Happy hunting, Barnaby, Sam called out as he walked off toward his police car. There you go, the elderly bartender at Roger's restaurant said later that afternoon, setting a tall glass of cold milk down in front of Barnaby. Could be improved with a little rum, Mr. Jones, he added with a wink. It's fine, Barnaby smiled, leaning against the counter. You work real long hours, don't you, Al? A couple of hours in the morning, 8 to 2 at night, Al replied, wiping down the polished wood with a white towel. I know you've been all over this with the police, but, think about last night, Barnaby said gently. Who did Mr. Roger talk to? I don't recall anything except the usual glad-handing, Al said, pausing to think. No strangers? Nobody you hadn't seen before? Oh, we might have a strange face or two, but mainly our trade is regulars, Al explained. It's all by reservation. And if Mr. Roger doesn't know you, chances are you don't eat here. They keep a reservation book? Barnaby asked, leaning in. Oh, sure, Al nodded. You sure do make a tasty milkshake, Barnaby complimented him warmly. Could I see it? The book. Al asked. Oh, yeah, sure. It's right over there. Help yourself. Barnaby walked over to the podium near the entrance, flipping open the heavy leather ledger. It's mostly old studies, he noted, flipping through the dates. Do they have a private listing for reservation? Not that I know of, Al called out. Barnaby's finger stopped on an entry recorded for the previous night. Mitchell. Is that Mitch Mitchell? Yeah, he runs a jewelry business, Al said, looking over. Part of you, too. You happen to remember who was with him? Barnaby asked, his tone growing sharper. Oh, did I? I'll chuckle. Not a doll like he's generally with. She was sort of on the plain side, about 32, 35, British hair. Joe Dimitri said she works for him. Mary, Barnaby whispered to himself, a slow realization crossing his face. Chapter 7. The morning sun filtered brightly into Mitch Mitchell's grand penthouse apartment. Mitch stood by the side table, his hands trembling violently as he tried to pour liquid into a glass.
Mary.
You told me to come by this morning, Mitch said nervously as the front doorbell chimed and Mary Duane walked in. Right. Mitch stammered, gesturing broadly. Come on in. I had a terrible night last night. Want a drink? At this time of morning? Mary asked, raising an eyebrow. It's not exactly a drink, Mitch insisted hastily, picking up a shaker. You know, lime, clam tomato juice, pepper, raw egg, and a little vodka. No, thank you, Mary said calmly, taking off her leather gloves. You know, Mary, I'm not exactly in the mood to work today, Mitch confessed, setting the glass down without drinking. Why don't you just go on to the office? Mary didn't move. She stood in the center of his living room, her expression firm and steady. Were we really going to work or just talk?
What?
You always seem to be on the verge of talking about something, but it never gets very far before you're off and running again, Mary said softly. Yeah, Mitch muttered, rubbing the back of his neck. That talk, Mary, you're really a very attractive girl and, why don't we start out by being honest with each other? Mary interrupted, her voice dropping all pretense of meekness. Now what? Mitch scoffed nervously. And make yourself comfortable, Mary added, stepping over to the couch and sitting down smoothly. Before Mitch could answer, the front doorbell chimed again. Mitch gasped, grabbing his glass before marching to the door and pulling it open. Barnaby Jones stood on the welcome mat, his expression pleasant and relaxed. Good morning, Barnaby offered kindly. Well, anything that can wait? Mitch snapped, holding the door firmly. I was wondering if you were aware the police had recovered some of your platinum, Barnaby said smoothly, taking a small step into the entryway. No, I didn't know, Mitch stammered, his posture stiffening immediately. How much did they find? Barnaby looked past him toward Mary. Mr. Wayne? One button. It's about $5,000, isn't it? Yeah, Mitch agreed quickly. Hey, they catch the thief? Police don't think so, Barnaby said, watching Mitch's reaction carefully. You knew the restaurateur Roger, didn't you? Oh, yeah, slightly, Mitch replied with a wave of his hand. Sort of a hello acquaintance. Why? He was killed last night, Barnaby said flatly. They think he was dealing for the platinum. Well, I can't believe it, Mitch gasped, shaking his head with exaggerated distress. Roger mixed up in something like this? He left this place about 9:30 last night, Barnaby noted softly. Is that right? Yeah, I started out to meet a buyer, and I didn't feel too good, so I decided to come home instead, Mitch said quickly, his voice rising slightly in pitch. Why do you ask? Well, they figure he was killed about midnight, Barnaby said, his blue eyes locking onto Mitch's face. Police are probably going to be asking a lot of people a lot of questions, and they might even, ask you to account for your time. No problem here, Mitch declared firmly. I was home alone. Well, being familiar with police procedure, they might ask for some sort of proof, Barnaby suggested. What do you mean, proof? Mitch barked defensively. Mary Duane stood up from the sofa, stepping forward with smooth grace. Perhaps the whole matter could be simplified by accounting for my time, Mr. Jones. I was with Mr. Mitchell the whole night. Barnaby turned to look at her, his eyes widening slightly before returning to his neutral expression. Thank you, Mitch, but I don't think my reputation would suffer too much, Mary added with a soft smile. Any other questions, Mr. Jones? No, I don't think so, Barnaby said quietly. You know, Jones, you seem to be rather suspicious of me, Mitch said angrily, stepping into Barnaby's path. Are you aware that I was boarding a plane at 7:30 that Saturday and the air at 8, and meeting a buyer at the airport in New York City? That reminds me, Barnaby said, tapping his temple. You took a flight with 2 stopovers. Why didn't you fly direct? I had a lot of work to catch up on, Mitch explained coldly. No telephones, no business calls, no intrusions. You see, Jones, that 7 hours in the air gave me the opportunity to put in 7 solid hours of work with no interruptions. Thank you very much, Mr. Wayne, Barnaby said, turning toward the door. Hey, Jones, if I, seem a little irritable, I want you to know that the work's getting to me, Mitch added, his tone softening slightly as he opened the door. We all have off days, Barnaby said gently, stepping out into the hall. You're quite a girl, Friday. Thanks a lot. Chapter 8. The door clicked shut behind Barnaby, and the silence in the apartment became heavy and suffocating. Mitch turned slowly, staring at Mary with terror in his eyes. That could have been embarrassing, Mitch exhaled loudly, reaching for his vodka mixture. That could have been your neck, Mary said coldly. Mitch froze, the glass halfway to his mouth. What are you talking about? I know everything, Mary said smoothly, walking over to the window and looking down at the street below. I overheard Nate telling you more than 3 months ago what had to be done to save the company. Mitch stared at her, stunned into silence. Well, how little I understand women, he breathed. How could you? Mary said, turning back to him with a sharp, piercing look. You've never known a real woman. Ouch. That hurts, Mitch muttered, setting his glass down. Hey, Mitch, you know the trouble with you? Mary asked, walking closer to him. You've always been too busy being the charmer. You've got no real business sense, like peddling that metal through Roger. Why deal with the underworld when there are businessmen just as crooked as you are? Who got my Mary? Mitch demanded, his eyes wide. A buyer once hinted to you that your license to buy industrial gold could work to your advantage, she reminded him. Can't recall him, Mitch lied, turning his face away. Yes, that was the day you were busy hiring a new filing clerk, partial to wearing miniskirts and tight-fitting sweaters, Mary said, her voice dripping with quiet disdain. Mitch stood straight, trying to regain his authority. "What do you want, Mary?" "What am I offered?" she countered smoothly. $25,000, Mitch said promptly. "That's a reasonable figure." "I'd hoped I'd be worth more than that to you," Mary said, tilting her head. "Well, I must admit, Mary, I don't understand you," Mitch sighed, sitting down heavily on the edge of the desk. "I know you don't," she said softly. "What I mean, when you knew what was going to happen, what were your real feelings?" Mitch asked, looking up at her with genuine curiosity. "At first, a sense of shock," Mary reflected, looking past him into space. "And I don't know. It excited me. Something happening I wasn't prepared for." "When Nate was shot," Mitch whispered. "Again," Mary nodded softly. "Fear of you. And then, you're an exciting man, Mitch." Mitch smiled slowly, his panic melting away into smug satisfaction. "You know, Mary, I think we're going to get along just fine." "I'm sure of it," she replied smoothly. Meanwhile, back at Barnaby's office, Betty was pouring fresh coffee into 2 porcelain mugs. Barnaby was standing by the window, staring down at the city traffic. "She was lying, Betty," Barnaby said firmly, taking the mug from her. "I touched the hood of her car. It was still warm. She probably drove up just before I did." "She could have driven out for cigarettes," Betty suggested. "No," Barnaby shook his head. Her confession surprised him as much as it did me. He wasn't prepared for such an alibi. "No, if she'd been in on it from the beginning, they'd have had their story down pat," Barnaby pointed out, pacing across the hardwood floor. "Barnaby, Mitchell was on a plane to New York during the robbery. Loading time was 7:30, Barnaby explained, turning around. He could have checked in, handed over his ticket, mingled with the people in the waiting area, and left. By 8 o'clock, he could have been back at the jewelry company. The robbery and the murder took 5 minutes. And he's away. He drives a Platinum to someplace that they have agreed upon in advance, back to the airport, gets on a non-stop flight to New York under an assumed name, arriving at the same time the 2-stop flight got in. Simple matter, to walk over to the other gate and meet his buyer. "Do you really think both partners were in on it?" Betty asked, leaning forward. "They had to be, Betty," Barnaby insisted. "That's the only thing that explains the short time it took to load the Platinum. No one guy was holding a gun on the other. They were both loading it." "Only one thing," Betty noted. "Where does Mary Duane fit in? And why was Mitchell so surprised when she gave him an alibi for that night?" "There's very little on her," Barnaby murmured, picking up a folder from his desk. "There's very little to get. She lives alone, never dates. As a matter of fact, I came up with only one woman friend, a neighbor, Mrs. Andrews, who runs a little TV store." "Only one thing that makes sense," Betty added softly. "If Mary Duane had recognized Mitchell behind the mask that day, that would explain their sudden dating, getting together." "I'd hate to be in her shoes," Barnaby said, his tone dark. "She's holding that information over a killer's head, blackmailing him." "I have a feeling that Mary Duane can take care of herself in the clenches," Betty replied thoughtfully. Chapter 9. Later that afternoon, Mitch parked his dark sedan behind a low building near the marina. Mary was sitting in the passenger seat, dressed in a sharp suit and sunglasses. "You're early," Mary observed as Mitch got in. "I thought we were going to meet for lunch." I thought maybe we'd take a little drive, have lunch somewhere along the way on the road," Mitch said, turning the key in the ignition. Mary reached out and turned the engine off. "And how lonely would this road be?" "What?" Mitch asked, frowning. "I think I feel more comfortable in the city, Mitch," Mary said firmly, holding his gaze. Mitch sighed heavily, throwing his hands off the steering wheel. "I guess we'll stop playing games, Mary. Come on out to the car." "Oh, listen before we go. This might interest you," Mary said calmly, reaching into her purse and pulling out a small black electronic cassette. "Sorry, we don't have the time," Mitch barked. "Something new they've come out with," Mary said, ignoring his tone. "It's really marvelous. A TV camera and receiver. A whole muse." "The car?" Mitch growled, stepping out and opening her door. Mary looked at him, her voice suddenly mimicking the deep, muffled rasp of the intruder. Never want to torture somebody. Stick this mask on them. My voice okay?
Good.
See if the van is positioned right. Mitch froze, his hand trembling on the door handle. I knew it would happen that morning, Mary said, returning to her normal, cool tone. Nate asking me to be sure to open early and you supposedly on that plane. It was an hour-and-a-half tape. I had it fixed and running before you and Nate even went into your act. Mitch stared at her, his face drained of all color. There is, of course, a duplicate, Mary added softly, closing her purse with a quiet snap. One that will find its way into the hands of the police if I should die or disappear. You're not the suicidal type, Mitch, and that's what you'd be doing. Mitch leaned against the roof of the car, his posture collapsing completely. You know, Mary, you must feel real pleased with yourself. I'm not proud of what I did, Mitch, Mary whispered, her eyes softening just a fraction. I thought about it and thought about it. Told myself it was crazy. And I think way down deep, I thought it was a way of getting closer to you. We worked together for so long.
Mitch.
I did have feelings that I couldn't help but think of you. Often. And I knew you'd need help in the beginning. I'll be sharing all your problems now. You're my problem, Mitch said bitterly. Oh, no, you mustn't think of it like that, Mary insisted, offering a slight, alluring smile. It's a game. Thrilling and exciting. What's ahead is exciting. We have so many things to share. Chapter 10. Across town, Barnaby Jones was standing inside a small, cluttered electronics shop filled with hums, wires, and glowing cathode ray screens. An elderly woman, Mrs. Andrews, was behind the counter, showing a customer a compact monitor. Compact this, Camry, Mrs. Andrews was saying warmly. Oh, why not browse?
Take your time.
Any questions, just call on me. She turned around, smiling warmly at Barnaby. Mary and I really got to know each other when we discovered we had a common interest. She's a lovely person, just lovely. I've only known her a short time. She became absolutely fanatic about the new videotape systems, experimenting with different lighting and various angles. In fact, here's a tape Mary made herself. She pressed play on a small deck on the counter. A black and white image appeared on the small screen, showing the inside of the jewelry office reflected in a vanity glass. She shot this through a mirror, Mrs. Andrews explained proudly. She was constantly experimenting. Through a mirror? Barnaby murmured, staring closely at the small screen. Well, Mary claimed you could use a mirror with self-conscious subjects, like my grandchildren, Mrs. Andrews chuckled. Now you try to pose grandchildren. Barnaby leaned over the counter, his tone becoming sharp and urgent. Miss Andrews, would it be difficult to make a duplicate of a tape? Mrs. Andrews paused, looking at him in surprise. Now that's strange. You were the second person within an hour to ask that question. We'll find the second who was the first, Barnaby said instantly. Well, maybe you know him, Mrs. Andrews said, tapping her finger on her chin. Mr. Mitchell, he's Mary's boss. Mr. Mitchell. Did Mary make a duplicate recently? Barnaby asked, leaning closer. She sure did, Mrs. Andrews replied. But as I told Mr. Mitchell, I never saw it. Barnaby turned on his heel and rushed out the door, pulling out his notebook as he made for the nearest public telephone booth. Chapter 11. At the front desk of Mitchell and Turner, Smitty sat fidgeting with a pen while Mary entered through the rear entrance, carrying a small leather bag. Where have you been? Smitty asked nervously, standing up immediately. Trouble? No, but the time is short, Mary said quietly, checking her watch. The Platinum is at a beach house. Mitch wants me to meet him there at 7 to move it elsewhere. How'd you get the location out of him? Smitty whispered. We're on friendly terms. Mary smiled faintly. Hey, you're jealous, Smitty grumbled, turning his head away. It's sweet. Mary cooed gently, touching his hand. Just simple trust, huh? Smitty asked, looking skeptical. No, Mary said firmly. He buys the fact that we're partners. He needs me as much as I need him. Hey, you're jealous. I like that. Change is all the women want. What's different? What's different? In the showroom, old Mr. Benson was carefully wiping down a display case when Barnaby Jones walked in rapidly. Mr. Benson, these security mirrors, they're all fixed in place, aren't they? Barnaby asked, pointing up at the circular convex mirror near the vault door. I mean, usually. They're supposed to be, Benson said, adjusting his glasses to look up. I see that one's moved around. Thanks, Barnaby said, heading straight for the private offices. He opened the door to Mitch Mitchell's inner sanctum. The room was in complete disarray. Papers were scattered across the carpet, drawers were pulled out, and desk ornaments were overturned. Mr. Wayne's office looks like a windstorm, Benson observed, stepping up behind Barnaby. Yeah, Barnaby said, scanning the mess. Mr. Mitchell was in here looking for a package Mary left, Benson noted. What kind of a package? Barnaby asked, spinning around. He just said it was small, Benson replied. Mary put it away for safekeeping. Did he describe the package? Barnaby pressed. What size? Well, about so, Benson said, holding up his hands to measure a small box about 6 inches long. You know the package? Barnaby asked. Before Benson could answer, Barnaby's pocket pager began to chime. He quickly reached for the office phone on the overturned desk and dialed his service. My answering service. I just got the message, Barnaby said into the receiver. Just a second. He listened intently to the operator's voice. The service said you mentioned the package, Barnaby noted, hanging up and turning back to the elderly craftsman. At that moment, Sam Jackson stepped into the office, holding his coat over his arm. I can't stand designing jewelry I don't like. It's not modern. It's tasteless, Sam complained playfully, looking around at the mess. Sam, you found a package I was looking for? What's so important about a little package? Barnaby asked, stepping toward him. Mr. Mitchell, it's not healthy for a man to be so intense, Sam mimicked with a smile. Today's troubles, you'll laugh at tomorrow. Sam, you find a package, or didn't you? Barnaby asked seriously. Yes, Sam said, reaching into his pocket. I was returning a file to Mary's office. And it was so messy, I decided to neaten it up. Would you show me, okay? I mean, it's not important. Maybe it is important. I don't know. It's not in Mary's office, Barnaby observed. What? Sam asked. I've got it right here. I found it behind a box of staples. It's an autumn package. Barnaby took the small taped package from Sam's hand, his expression turning sharp and urgent. Well, thanks, Sam. She's in a hurry. Chapter 12. The waves crashed rhythmically against the wooden pillars of the secluded beach house on the coast. Inside, the living room was dark, save for the weak amber light of a single desk lamp. Heavy iron crates of raw platinum were lined up near the sliding glass doors leading to the balcony. Mary Duane stood by the central table, holding a glass of wine, while Smitty checked the locks on the patio door. Mitch Mitchell stood by the bar, holding a heavy chrome revolver in his hand, his eyes wild and unblinking. Make up your mind how much to cut Mitch in for? Smitty asked, turning around with a gloating smile. I think 0 would be a nice number, Mary said smoothly, raising her glass. How long will it take, disposing of it? 6 weeks, no longer, Smitty said confidently. It's unbelievable, Mitch hissed, stepping out from the shadows into the lamplight, pointing the revolver straight at Mary's chest. Both of you went on this. It's incredible. Mary didn't flinch. She set her glass down with a soft click. It might be wise for you to put that away. They do go off, you know. Yeah, indeed they do, Mitch spat, taking a step closer. Indeed they do. Well, how long has this been going on? You too. Christmas a year ago, Smitty answered calmly, standing beside Mary. Neither one of us had anything very special to do after the office party, so I made Christmas dinner for us. And now, there are wedding plans. Well, that's nice, Mitch sneered, his finger tightening on the trigger. Very nice. But you, might have to change those plans. What's that? Mary asked, her eyes narrowing. Mitch pulled a small, familiar black box from his pocket and tossed it onto the sofa.
That. Hopeful sum.
He found it for me, Sam, Mary whispered, her composure slipping for the first time. What's she talking about? I have the faintest idea, Smitty muttered, stepping in front of her. You've got a bad memory, Mary. Mitch laughed maniacally. It's your precious duplicate. Duplicate, Mary said, regaining her cool instantly. The duplicate was mailed to me. I've got it locked away.
No, Mitch snarled. No, Sam.
Yeah, we found it straightening up his office. So don't tell me this isn't it. That's right, Mitch, it isn't. A voice called out firmly from the dark hallway. Mitch spun around wildly, but before he could raise his arm, Barnaby Jones stepped into the room, holding a calm, steady posture, flanked by Lieutenant Sam Jackson with his service weapon drawn and leveled. Drop the gun, Sam commanded coldly. Mitch froze, staring at the double barrel aimed at his chest. Slowly, his fingers opened, and the revolver clattered uselessly onto the rug. This is your ploy, Jones, Mitch gasped, shaking his head in total defeat. Just consider it a little gift, Barnaby said softly, stepping forward to kick the gun away. Not a gift for you, Miss Duane. You'll be happy to know that your friend Sam is still your good and firm friend. After I explained it to him, he agreed with me that it was better for you to do a little cell time than for us to stumble over your body somewhere. Sam picked up the revolver from the floor and nodded to his officers waiting outside. Get me the police. Chapter 13. The cool ocean night breeze blew through the open windows of Sam Jackson's police cruiser as Barnaby sat in the passenger seat, heading back toward the city lights. All I'm saying is you could have phoned before heading up to that beach house, Sam grumbled, keeping his hands firm on the steering wheel. Did you ever follow Mitchell in a car? Barnaby asked with a faint, amused smile. He hit 100 in a couple of places. What charges can you bring against Mary Duane and Smith? Sam asked, adjusting his rear-view mirror. Grand theft, conspiracy, obtaining stolen goods, Barnaby listed smoothly. But neither one of them had any prior record? No. First time in the bullpen, Sam reported, shaking his head. Barnaby adjusted his coat collar, looking out at the glittering skyline in the distance. Well, if Mitchell didn't have any prior record either, then it seems to me that everybody involved in the robbery of that boat is an amateur. Sam chuckled softly, turning the cruiser onto the highway ramp. Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. Barnaby smiled gently, leaning his head back against the seat. You know, Lieutenant, maybe you ought to stop betting lunches.